Don't be caught unaware of what could happen any day. The following 10 volcano eruptions are real possibilities. You do not want to miss a single one. Welcome to the Tell Me More Hub channel, where we share information about so many topics you are interested in. If you have not subscribed yet, please do. Imagine the ground beneath your feet trembling, the air thickening with ash, and the horizon lit by fiery orange as molten lava consumes everything in its path. This is not a scene from a horror movie, but a potential reality for millions living near some of the world's most dangerous volcanoes. The Volcanic Explosivity Index, or VEI, is to volcanoes what the Richter scale is to earthquakes, a measure of their power and potential for destruction. While the Richter scale quantifies the energy released by an earthquake, the VEI measures the explosiveness of volcanic eruptions, with each step up the scale indicating a tenfold increase in eruption volume. Today, we delve into the simmering cauldrons of magma lurking beneath our planet's crust, ready to unleash chaos at any moment. Brace yourself for a journey from the least severe to the most catastrophic volcanoes poised for eruption, and understand the impending doom that could shatter the lives of ordinary people. Mount Merapi, Indonesia's most active volcano, sits ominously near the bustling city of Yogyakarta. With its last significant eruption in 2010, Merapi reminds us that it could awaken at any time. The constant threat of pyroclastic flows, fast-moving currents of hot gas and volcanic matter, keeps residents in a state of perpetual anxiety. The impact would be devastating, with pyroclastic flows incinerating everything in their path, collapsing homes, and turning the streets into rivers of ash. Thousands of lives would be at risk, and entire communities could be wiped out in minutes. Ashfall would blanket nearby towns and cities, causing buildings to collapse under the weight, contaminating water supplies and destroying crops. The health impact would be severe, with respiratory problems affecting hundreds of thousands. While a Merapi eruption wouldn't have a global climatic impact, it would disrupt air travel across Southeast Asia, causing economic losses in the billions. International aid efforts would be required to support the affected region. The local economy, heavily reliant on agriculture and tourism, would suffer immensely. Rebuilding efforts would take years and cost billions, while the loss of human capital and the long-term health effects would hinder recovery. The picturesque island of Kyushu, Japan is home to Sakurajima, a volcano that erupts almost daily. While most eruptions are small, Sakurajima has the potential for a VEI 5 eruption, which could devastate the nearby city of Kagoshima. The eruption would cause massive destruction in Kagoshima, with lava flows, ashfall, and pyroclastic surges obliterating infrastructure. Thousands could perish in the initial blast, and tens of thousands more could be injured. The economic heart of Kyushu would be crippled, with agriculture and fisheries destroyed. Evacuations would displace hundreds of thousands, causing widespread humanitarian crises. The global supply chain could be affected, particularly in electronics and automotive industries reliant on Japanese production. Air travel disruptions would affect international flights, causing economic ripples worldwide. The immediate economic impact would be catastrophic, with estimated losses in the tens of billions. Long-term recovery would be slow, with significant government intervention needed to rebuild infrastructure and restore the economy. Known affectionately as El Popo, Popocatepetl looms over Mexico City, threatening millions with its fiery temper. The volcano's frequent activity causes periodic evacuations and disrupts daily life. A major eruption would spew ash and lava over a vast area, burying towns and causing massive casualties. Thousands could die, and millions more would face health hazards from ash inhalation and contaminated water. Mexico City's infrastructure would be heavily impacted, with power outages, water supply disruptions, and transportation paralysis. The economic hub of Mexico could be brought to its knees, affecting millions of lives. Global industries reliant on Mexican manufacturing and agriculture would face significant disruptions. Air travel to and from North America could be severely affected, causing delays and cancellations. The economic fallout would be staggering, with losses potentially reaching hundreds of billions. The long-term impact on Mexico's economy would be profound, with significant investments needed for recovery and rebuilding. Mount Fuji, a symbol of Japan's natural beauty, hides a deadly secret beneath its tranquil facade. Last erupting in 1707, Fuji is long overdue for another eruption. A VI 5 or 6 event could blanket Tokyo in ash, paralyzing one of the world's largest cities. The initial eruption would cause widespread devastation, with ashfall collapsing buildings, clogging waterways, and halting transportation. Thousands could die, and millions would be forced to flee. The economic powerhouse of Tokyo would grind to a halt, with businesses shutting down and infrastructure in ruins. The ripple effects would be felt across Japan, disrupting daily life and commerce. As a global financial center, Tokyo's paralysis would cause shockwaves through the international economy. Air travel disruptions would be severe, affecting global flight paths and causing widespread delays. The economic impact would be incalculable, potentially exceeding $1 trillion. The rebuilding process would be monumental, requiring international aid and decades of effort to restore Japan's economic stability. Mount Tambora's 1815 eruption was the largest in recorded history, earning it a VEI 7 rating. The eruption caused a year without a summer, leading to widespread famine. Today, another eruption could have similarly devastating effects. The explosion would devastate the local population, with pyroclastic flows and ashfall causing tens of thousands of deaths. Entire communities could be wiped out, leaving a wasteland in its wake. The surrounding region would face famine as crops fail and livestock perish. Water supplies would be contaminated, leading to widespread disease and suffering. A VEI 7 eruption could cause global climatic changes, leading to cooler temperatures and failed harvests worldwide. The resulting food shortages could lead to global economic instability and humanitarian crises. The immediate economic impact would be catastrophic for Indonesia, with losses in the billions. Globally, the economic fallout from climatic changes could reach trillions, with long-term impacts on agriculture, health, and social stability. Mount Etna, Europe's most active volcano, has been erupting for thousands of years. Its frequent activity affects the lives of those on Sicily's east coast. A major eruption would devastate local communities, with lava flows destroying homes, roads, and infrastructure. Thousands could be displaced, and the immediate loss of life could be significant. The economic heart of Sicily would be crippled, with agriculture and tourism, key industries, severely impacted. Evacuations would cause widespread disruption, and the health impact of ashfall would be profound. The global economy could feel the effects, particularly in the agricultural and tourism sectors. Air travel disruptions would affect flights across Europe, causing significant delays and economic losses. The economic impact would be severe, with losses potentially reaching tens of billions. The long-term recovery would be challenging, with significant government and international aid required to rebuild. Mount St. Helens, located in the United States, is infamous for its 1980 eruption, a stark reminder of nature's formidable power. Registering as a VEI 5 eruption, it flattened vast swaths of forest and tragically claimed 57 lives. Should another major eruption occur, the immediate area could face devastating consequences. Pyroclastic flows, ashfall, and lahars could obliterate everything in their path, potentially killing thousands and wiping out entire communities. On a regional scale, the economic hub of the Pacific Northwest, including major cities like Portland and Seattle, would suffer severely. Infrastructure would be crippled, and economic activities would grind to a halt. The repercussions would extend globally, particularly affecting technology and agriculture sectors that rely on production from this area. Air travel would also face widespread disruptions, impacting international flights. The economic impact of such an event would be enormous, with losses potentially reaching into the hundreds of billions. The long-term recovery would require significant federal and international aid, with lasting effects on both the regional and national economy. Krakatoa's 1883 eruption was a cataclysmic event, with a VEI 6 rating. The explosion was heard 3,000 miles away and caused tsunamis that killed over 36,000 people. A similar eruption today would be catastrophic, with tsunamis destroying coastal communities and pyroclastic flows causing massive casualties. Tens of thousands could die, and millions more would be affected. The economic heart of Indonesia would be devastated, with agriculture, fisheries, and tourism industries facing ruin. The humanitarian crisis would be immense, with millions displaced and in need of aid. The global economy could be affected, particularly in industries reliant on Indonesian production. Air travel disruptions would be severe, affecting flights across Asia and beyond. The economic impact would be profound, with losses potentially reaching hundreds of billions. The long-term recovery would be challenging, with significant international aid required to rebuild and restore stability. Mount Vesuvius is infamous for the destruction of Pompeii in AD 79. With millions living in its shadow, another VI 5 or 6 eruption could be catastrophic. A major eruption would devastate Naples and surrounding areas, with pyroclastic flows, ashfall, and lava flows causing massive casualties. Tens of thousands could die, and millions more would be affected. The economic heart of southern Italy would be crippled, with infrastructure destroyed and economic activity halted. The health impact would be severe, with widespread respiratory problems and water contamination. The global economy could feel the effects, particularly in tourism and agriculture sectors. Air travel disruptions would be widespread, affecting flights across Europe and beyond. The economic impact would be enormous, with losses potentially reaching hundreds of billions. The long-term recovery would require significant international aid with lasting effects on the regional and national economy. The Yellowstone caldera is a supervolcano with the potential for a VEI 8 eruption. Such an event could blanket the United States in ash, cause a volcanic winter, and disrupt global climate. The explosion would cause unprecedented destruction, with pyroclastic flows and ashfall devastating everything in their path. Millions could die, and billions more worldwide could be affected. The western United States would be crippled, with infrastructure destroyed, economic activity halted, and millions displaced. The health impact would be severe, with widespread respiratory problems and water contamination. A VEI 8 eruption could cause global climatic changes, leading to cooler temperatures and failed harvests worldwide. The resulting food shortages could lead to global economic instability and humanitarian crises. The economic impact would be incalculable, potentially exceeding tens of trillions of dollars. The global economy would face significant disruptions, with long-term effects on agriculture, health, and social stability. The threat of volcanic eruptions looms over millions of lives worldwide. These silent monsters, capable of unimaginable destruction, remind us that our control over nature is an illusion. As we go about our daily routines, the ground beneath us could at any moment become a gateway to disaster. From the picturesque peaks of Japan to the vast caldera of Yellowstone, the potential for cataclysmic eruptions is a chilling reminder of nature's power. The impending doom from these volcanoes is not a matter of if, but when. Preparedness, vigilance, and respect for the forces of nature are our only defenses against the wrath of the earth. So as you watch this, consider the precariousness of life in the shadow of these ticking time bombs, and hope that when they awaken, humanity will be ready to face the challenge. The world stands on the edge of volcanic devastation, and the next breath of these silent giants could change life as we know it forever. If you have a volcano story, we would love to know about it. If you want to be the first to get new information on more and more topics, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and notification buttons. If you have an idea for something for us to research or just want to leave a comment, we look forward to hearing from you, and we will do our best to respond.